always the stories about the easel blowing over. I had to blow over into a river, this 4 by 5 foot canvas, which took my easel and my painting and my brushes, and having to run downstream and hop between rocks and stuff like that, gathering brushes first because they came first, while the easel kind of, and the canvas kind of loped down the stream. And of course it was February, so as soon as I yanked it out, it just froze solid. It was beautiful.
When I was strictly a plein air painter, I would be religiously a plein air painter in the sense that if I had to correct a small piece of a painting, even just a little patch, I would have to go back to the location, set up everything and do that. I would never work on something in my studio. And in this particular case, I was working on a sunny day painting in Beechwood Forest at the Frog Pond, and a cloudy day piece in Truro on a hillside. And I set up my whole setup, the French easel, everything ready to go, and a cloud cover came. This was in Provincetown. So I packed everything into the car, drove to Truro for my cloudy day, and it was sunny. So I packed up everything, drove back to Provincetown, and a cloud cover came. And I think I drove, and I actually was on a meter because I had babysitters in those days, so I'm watching the clock, and I just spent the whole 3 or 4 hours I had driving back and forth on Route 6 between the cloudy and the sunny. At some point, I'm not a really very practical person, it hadn't occurred to me. I looked up at the sky, and there was an actual demarcation in the sky, and my sunny location in Provincetown had a band of clouds with a direct line that ended on Route 6, and my cloudy day painting in Truro was sunny.
I was in Alaska painting with a friend of mine in a really remote section in a place called Ketchikan, Alaska, up a country road on the seashore in a place called Herring Cove. And I'm painting something about this large, maybe like this big, 8 by 10 or something, and a gentleman comes out from a cabin up the road, and he walks down the hill, and he said to me, you know, it's my wife's anniversary. My wife and I, it's our anniversary, and I really want to get her something good, so I was thinking, are you going to sell that painting when you're done? And I said, well, I wasn't thinking about that, but if you like it enough, I'll be happy to sell it to you. And he said, well, you know, all I got is $22. And I said, fine, I'll sell it to you for $22. It was a beautiful moment. So the guy goes back up to his cabin, he comes down and gives me $22 and a giant hunk of smoked salmon. How he knew I loved smoked salmon is beyond me, but it was a really, really nice moment. So somewhere up in the middle of nowhere, there's a guy in a cabin with my little painting of Herring Cove that he bought for $22 and a giant piece of smoked salmon.
One of the very pleasurable things about painting outside, and because I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and have access to many farms and rural properties, on many occasions I have been painting with donkeys leaning against me the whole painting, just like a little dog. I've been charged by a rooster. I've had 2 horses pretty much licking me while I'm painting. And that is actually very exciting to me. I actually stopped the irony is I paint on a farm that is a beef producer, and because I painted on that farm so much, I stopped eating meat. Because I watched, one day I was teaching a workshop out there, and a cow gave birth to a calf, and that little nugget got up and started dancing and running around, and all the cows were around it, taking care of it and protecting it, and that's good stuff, and I thought, I can't eat that.
I always like to have with me like coffee and snacks and music and all kinds of things when I paint outside, and I used to bring a cup of coffee and it would get cold, and then it was kind of yuck, you know, there you are, your coffee is cold. So it took me a year or 2 to realize that I could bring a thermos. So I bought a thermos, and the thermos was glass lined. And invariably, every time I'd go out to work, I'd set everything up, I'd be working, I'd be thinking about my coffee, my mocha, and I would kick it, and it would fall over and break, and I'd break the glass. And then I'd go buy another one, and I would set everything up, set up the thermos, thinking about the reward of this wonderful coffee drink. Once I had done something, I'd kick it, it would break. And I must have bought at least 6, 8, maybe even as many as 10 glass thermoses, until one day it occurred to me that I could have a stainless steel thermos. I think that was more or less around the time that I was transitioning into working more indoors.
A long time ago, I lived in Colorado, and I was doing a lot of plein air painting out there. My friend had a ranch, and he had these black Angus cattle. They're pure black, and he was raising them all organic. Well, I was out in the field where these cows are, and I'm painting away, kind of in like a little gully, stream or something, I don't even remember. And I felt like somebody was watching me. I turned around, right up on the embankment was a dozen black cattle, and they're all staring at me, wondering what it is I'm doing. And I suddenly have an audience. And the bull's there, and he's kind of intimidating, it's a big, big animal. And I thought, well, I'm going to go to my car and grab some snacks, and I'll come back. By the time I come back, they'll be gone. So I go to the car and come back. When I come back, they infiltrated the painting area. The cows are right up there. One of them is sniffing the painting, rubbing its nose on the canvas, and then the little calf is looking at my palette that was sitting there. And I didn't want to scare him too much because I didn't want him to knock everything over. So I'm just like, shoo, shoo, shoo. They kind of walk away, and I get back to work, and I look at the group of cattle again, and I noticed there was white spots starting to appear all over the cattle, and streaks of white. What is going on? And I had the little calf that was sniffing my palette. Well, he dragged his chin into all the white paint, and then he goes into the herd and starts rubbing it all over the other black cattle. And I thought the rancher is going to kill me. So I went to explain to him, and he just told me, you just stick to painting the pictures and not the cows.
I was painting up in not far from where I live in northern Baltimore County, and I was painting a dawn scene of pasture with some cows and stuff. And I can have a tendency to get very focused on the painting and really not pay attention to what's going around me. So I got there before dawn, and I started painting, and then suddenly I became aware that there was this huge line of cars on the road behind me, just stretched up over the hill, and that they were all people going to work to do their job. There I was, standing on the side of the road in this beautiful scene, and that was my job. I felt very grateful I was not over there. That was a beautiful experience for me.